Uh, Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is when you see this. And I have a little message for you. Um, I want to talk about the Gospel of John. Um, God has put it on my heart to do this. And even though I've said the same thing before at other times, well, I'm saying it again because maybe in a slightly different way, because I feel led to do that. And I've said this before too. I I don't have any divinity degrees. I didn't go to any Bible seminary school, and so I don't have all those credentials that you um, may be looking for before you can believe something. But I'm going to share with you what I see, and I hope that you find some value in it. Um, I want to talk about the Gospel of John. Now, the Gospel of John is often cited at the beginning of John is often cited as proof that Jesus is God. And I have my Bible right here. These are nice little Bibles. Little pocket Bibles, so you see it's a good idea to put one in your hand, and you get odd moments throughout the day. You can pick it up and just scan it. But the Gospel of John, in the beginning of it, and I'm paraphrasing, it says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." Chances are you will go to church, and the pastor of the church will tell you, "Well, right there, that's proof Jesus is God." Okay. Well, what they won't tell you is that there's a raging controversy about how that is translated. And if you look at the New English Bible, it says something different, and many people believe that that's a more accurate translation of the Greek. And what the New English Bible says, "In the beginning was the Word was with God, and what God was, the Word was." So that's not exactly the same thing as saying that Jesus is God. And you can search the internet and you can find all kinds of intellectual arguments, pro and con. And but I want to bring your attention to something very simple in the Gospel of John. And you might want to, if you have a minister who's saying that John 1:1 and the following verses prove that Jesus is God, you might want to ask him about this, or you might not want to. But I'm going to read it, and it's very simple because the Gospel of John, it says what its purpose is. Within the Gospel itself, it says what the purpose of the Gospel of John is. And I'm going to read that to you right now. And the English meaning of it is pretty clear. far as I know, there's no alternative translations to it. It's just, it says what it says and it means what it says. And I'll read it to you. This is in John. This is in John chapter 20. And I'm going to read verses 30 through 31. And it's pretty simple, and I think it's pretty clear. This is John chapter 20, verse 30. Now Jesus did many other signs in the presence of the disciples, which are not written in this book. But these are written so that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. So there it is right there. It's within the Gospel of John. And the Gospel of John is saying what the purpose of the Gospel of John is. And I'll repeat it in case it went over your head. But these are written that you may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, and that by believing you may have life in his name. You believe that Jesus, the purpose of the Gospel of John is written that you may believe Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God. That's what it says. It's very clear. Now, don't you think that the author of the Gospel of John, who's unknown, if the purpose of the book of John was to get you to believe that Jesus is God, don't you think it would have said that? And it doesn't. It says the purpose of the book is to get you to believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God. So, anybody out there that uses the beginning of the Gospel of John to prove that Jesus is God are using the Gospel of John for a purpose for which it was not intended. The book of John itself says what its purpose is that you might believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God. So, to me, that's very clear. It's very clear. And I offer that to you. You may like it. You may not. You may dislike it. You may agree. You may disagree. But that's how I see things. And that's my message for you. And I'll leave the comments open here. To anyone may comment. If you want to, I challenge anybody out there, anybody, to prove that the purpose of God, of the book of John, is for some other purpose, because it's not. And if you're using the Gospel of John to teach people that Jesus is God, you're using the book of John for a purpose for which it is not intended. And so, I hope you all have a blessed day.